Hello, and welcome to the crossover, where nothing is out of bounds and everything is fair game. We have a lot to cover with you today, but first, let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to Stats, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
All right, everybody, what's happening? It's time for At Home with the Crossover. I am your man, Big T, alongside my tag team partners. We got Aggie P is in the house, representing Aggie Nation as always. Aggie P, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Tunnel Crew? Aggie Pride is nationwide.
And then we got Bro Mel is in the house, Mr. Smooth himself. What's going on, Bro Mel?
Hey, man, praise the Lord. Just glad to be on the show tonight, man. Praise the Lord.
There you go. Then we got the queen, the first lady, mama, the doctor, the entrepreneur, everything. She's got all those nicknames. Queen, what is going on? TP is in the house.
All right, blessings on blessings. This is the night that I get ready.
Get to get him. And then Birdman is in the house. He got the blaze on, he got his Eagles hat on, got the Eagles flag on the wall like he does always, and he got the Eagles ring. I forgot about the championship ring, Hey, he was part of the team when they won, when they beat Tom Brady and the boys to win the big game. So that's how he got that ring. All right, good to go. And then the guest of honor is in the house. Can you see, Radar? Can you?
Yes, I can see tonight.
Are you sure you're facing the screen?
Yeah, right. Is this my camera? Is this my camera right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think my staff got it right tonight.
Okay, all right. And he's got a blaze on. The staff put the blaze on him.
That got me styled up. They got me styled up for the interview. They said I'm on the hot seat tonight.
They were putting the blaze on you. You were like, what is this? What are y'all putting on me?
Right. Are we going to court?
Yeah, they said it's a blazer. We want you to look good. Hey, together, y'all, we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. Tonight, on this edition of At Home with the Crossover, we continue our interview series where we're interviewing different members of the Tunnel Crew. We've already interviewed Birdman. We've already interviewed the Queen, TP. And so number 3, next up on the list is, like I said, the guest of honor, Radar Charles is our guest of honor tonight. He's the man that will be getting interviewed. He's the man that's going to be on the hot seat. He's the man that we're going to pick his brain and find out a little bit more about the man known as Radar, or as we like to call him, Radar Charles. So let's get ready to jump on in here. And you know what, Radar? I'm going to lead us off, man. Do you mind if I lead us off with the first question?
I would see it. I would have it no other way, Big T.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's get on in here. So you are a Green Bay Packers fan, is that correct?
That is correct, sir. Yes.
Even though you're always taking shots at Aaron Rodgers and dogging him, and the Packers at times talk about how they don't score enough points. And, even when they got 12 and 13 wins, Radar be killing them. Aaron Rodgers, this, that, and the other, needed that. But I say all that to say this. My question is, your brother, he played for the Packers, right?
Yes, he did. He played for the Packers. Yes, sir.
Okay. Explain to everybody what it's like having a brother that played in the NFL. I'd like to know, having a brother that played in the league, Go ahead and explain. Let all the fans, the listeners, and the Tunnel Crew know what it feels like to have a brother that played in the NFL.
Well, I must say that is probably why I am the way I am now, because I could tell how athletic he was. Mm-hmm. And he's younger than me. I'm the oldest. Okay. About all the boys. So he was very athletic. He could outrun me, outthink me in the game. So I knew he was different, and he played soccer. He didn't start out playing football. Okay. Which was the nice thing about it. And I was a big soccer fanatic because I got more playing time in soccer than I did in any other sport.
Mhm.
So he taught me how to see the game differently, and how to see it X's and O's.
Mhm.
So because he used to beat up on me in Madden, and he's 7 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah. But you couldn't tell when we would hang out. It would seem like it was like 3 year difference with us.
Yeah.
And I never had a big brother. We didn't get to spend that much time together.
Yeah.
Between that 5 year gap before he went off to college. And then when he went off to college, again, it was like a movie. He was trying out for the team. He didn't tell me. He got cut by the Panthers before the preseason, and then got picked up by the Packers. And ever since then, he was always that next guy up to Traymon Williams or next up to Charles Woodson. But he always waited his turn and played his position and ended up being a special teams captain, winning the Super Bowl 50. It was down in Dallas, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because he got an interception and he got a sack because Woodson got hurt. He broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
And with anything that I learned through my little brother was waiting your turn.
Yeah.
You know, kind of just, even though things don't look like it's working out and people don't look at you like you're a piece of the team, part of the team or a piece of the puzzle, if you wait your turn, God will always, rain upon you your rewards, not the awards, but the rewards.
Yeah.
Long
awesome.
term, not short term.
That's awesome. Well,
Yes,
you answered. I was getting ready to piggyback with a question, but you answered. I was getting ready to ask you, did he get a ring? When you mentioned Charles Woodson, I was getting ready to say, did he get a ring? So you answered that question. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So so Bird, his brother got a real ring, man.
Okay. It's
It's
all
okay.
right. It's all right.
All right. Next up, Tunnel Cruz got a question for Radar.
Since you done called me out, I would have asked this real quick. Same question I posed to TP, because a lot of y'all don't know that Radar was the one that trained me to do what I do on the sound. So same question I asked TP. How did we hit it off? Because before, TP wasn't on this particular show, but she did call in to trash the wrong type of Eagles. I do remember that, but how do we, because it's like now, like my humor to some people is dry. Yeah, like what's funny to you may not be funny to you, or what's funny to me may not be funny to you. But like when your humor and stuff, and we get to double teaming on TP or whatever the case may be, we like kind of just hit it off. Like it's kind of like that energy, like that.
Like what?
That positive energy, like what I'm saying. So like I just want to know how do we just click like right off bat? I thought it would take like more than just one day,
Well, believe it or not, that's a good question, because I always start out not liking people before I start to be able to make fun of them. And it's like a ritual for me, because now I know it's not personal. And like, just for example, like we were talking about during his interview, when he first came in, at first I was kind of like, oh God, we got to share the mic with him. I gotta let him talk now. Because before I was working around TP, Rooftop, and Big T, and Aggie P. And I knew Aggie P was gonna come in talking football. And I knew, so I'm like, okay, now I gotta, kind of recalibrate. So then when you came in, I was kind of like, okay, now he's gonna want to talk. And now I gotta keep up with what he's saying. So at first I didn't like you very much, because I was just like, what? I don't think this guy's gonna keep up. I don't think he's gonna last. I don't think he cares enough. And then the more I started to see you care and you listened and you would pull back, I was like, oh, okay. I might like him after all. He might work out. He might be that guy. But I really didn't. I really didn't like you when you first came on.
Oh, my man.
He said I didn't like you at first. Okay.
No, I don't like. Well, because I was like, we already got stats.
You say we already got
stats be moving. I said we don't need two stats. Two young, vibrant dudes that just want to shoot from the hip.
whippersnappers. That's what you sound like. You sound like two young whippersnappers on the show.
You're right.
You sound like get off my yard, man.
Yeah, I was at first, but then again, God showed me how to work with him and, and still be able to learn and be able to pick and choose my spots when I'm talking to him and learning how to bring him in on my sense of humor because he didn't get it at first. That's that's why I didn't like him, because he made me have to rethink the way I said things. But then when I would see him grin and smile, especially when I can make Bro Mel smile. When I started making Bro Mel laugh, I was like, oh, okay, now I know I'm working with something. You know? Just because I could see Bro Mel was anticipate me saying something and going left, and he was like, oh, here we go.
Here he goes.
Even Aggie P, he was like, okay, Radar.
Hey, here he goes.
And he don't know, that's stoking my fire. It's like, you know what? I know you get ready to say something, do something. Go ahead so I can get you straight. To me, that's exciting. Yeah, because y'all are like my big brothers, you know, in the family, and you learn how to give them a hard time.
I had a big sister.
Still, you know, it's out of love.
Don't forget about TP.
Oh Lord, no. And you know what? Real quick, short testimony. I used to ride with her to the studio for at least 3 or 4 months straight, Aggie P, and I would just sit there and just listen, just waiting. I would just listen to everything she was saying. I was like, okay, I got to use this against her.
Oh my goodness.
You rode with me for a year. I don't know.
I was like an informant.
You rode with me for a year.
Hey,
for a whole year, excuse me, not 4 months, for a whole year.
Aren't you glad he's not riding with you anymore, so he can't get ammunition to use against you?
I don't have nobody to fuss at in the car no more. That's what I miss.
So you missed the fussing at him, huh?
Yes, I do.
The ammunition, huh? You had to go load up, load your weapon, huh?
Yes.
Radar like a little brother, so you just got to pound on him sometimes.
There you go. All right, hey, who's next for the special Radar event tonight?
I have a question, Big T.
Yes, sir.
To piggyback off of your question, you know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, I love Radar's enthusiasm for all sports. You know, he brings light to all sports, is commentating and everything.
Yep.
Now, I want him to use his imagination. If God gave you a do-over, Radar, and you can be the top man in any professional sport, who would you be, and what sport would it be? You know, would you be, if God's, you know, if God say, hey, you are LeBron James, would you be LeBron James? Would you want his life?
Okay. I would want Mark Cuban's place in Dallas.
Okay.
And I say that because I love soccer and I love the way that it is global, but I love basketball because you can sit on the court, you can see the players, you can smell it, you can feel it. And I love football too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but that basketball, just being able to be on the sideline and be like, here goes Harvey Bernard again on the sideline. That's my owner's name, just so y'all know.
Harvey Bernard.
That's my middle name and first name. So they was like, Harvey Bernard is going crazy right now. And his bodyguard, Aggie P, is trying to hold him back.
So you like that sweat. You like it when the sweat fly on you, huh?
Right, sweat on me, you know.
When the players come leaping over you.
As my bodyguards, Bro Mel.
Yeah.
I had Bro Mel as the referee. Sit down,
so Radar,
Mr. Bernard,
you telling me you wouldn't want to be the guy to come out and score 35 points every night on a given,
you want to be
play that shutdown defense, have all the shoe contracts.
I want to be the guy in the suit, Aggie P, where they hugging him. I want LeBron to be like, come on, Harvey. You brought me into Dallas. I like, I know LeBron, let's go.
He said, I know. I know, LeBron, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, that's
I wanted to be the guy in the
blazer. That's why you wearing the blazer.
Yeah, or the trainer. The trainers, to me, are cool. Because they wrapping the guys up. They talking the guys up, passing the ball. That would be, dude, you'd be like, Radar's in his element. That's where I love being there, getting the guys ready for the game.
Yeah.
Good answer, Radar. I didn't expect that, man. Good
Yeah,
answer.
that was a good answer, man. Mark Cuban. Oh man, I like that. Well, hey everybody, we are having fun talking to our man Radar, and we're going to talk a lot more to him. We got a break coming up right now, but when we come back on the other side of the break, I have a few more questions for Mr. Radar. Have a lot of fun with him because, as you can see, nobody on the Tunnel Crew makes you laugh and gets you entertained and hyped up like Radar. And you're going to get more of that when we come back from the break. You listen to this special edition of At Home with the Crossover, the Radar interview.
What's so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to this special edition of At Home with a Crossover. It's the Radar interview. But before we get back into the interview, got a few identifications we need to do. So be sure to catch this At Home edition of the show Tuesday night, 7 p.m. YouTube is the place. The Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel in particular, 7 p.m. is the time. Go there, like, share, subscribe, tell everybody you know about it, because we want everybody to tune in and get to know every member of the Tunnel Crew and see the joy of the Lord shine through this group, because it's clear and obvious, and you'll see this, you're new to the show, even the long time people, you already know this, you'll see it every week. Joy shines through each and every one of us. And the word of God says, the joy of the Lord shall be your strength. And I think everybody here would agree with me. That is definitely what we try to exude on this show every week when we get on. And so Tuesday nights, catch us on YouTube, Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Then at 7 o'clock. Then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online also at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and the iTunes Store. All right, let's get back into the Radar interview. You know, he's the only one that I've said the Radar interview, you know. Didn't say the TP interview, the Birdman interview. It's the Radar interview, you know.
Wrong with us, Big T. You don't love us no more?
You know, we just gotta see, y'all don't have the ego that Radar has. See, I knew y'all would be fine with me, you know, keeping it chill. Radar, you got to roll out the red carpet and say, hey, the Radar interview. You know, it's the Radar interview. So
I wanted to make sure my staff sent him my questions, bro, Mel.
Yeah,
I didn't want him going off the script, sir.
Actually, to be honest with you, his staff threatened me. They said, hey, if you don't call it the Radar interview, he will never, ever do an interview for the Crossover ever again.
Wow.
I said, even he's on the show every week. No, you got to call it the radar interview. So now the cat's out the bag. All right,
You know, I got one
Radar.
for Big T. I'm glad he reminded me. I'm glad I got one for him. I got a burning testimony about Big T.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and get back in. Everybody, anybody want to jump in here and ask Radar a question? Go ahead.
All right, let me go ahead and go next. Well, now, Radar, I know I'm one of the newest members. So how long you been, with the crossover, and what drew you to the crossover? How did that come about? Come on, man.
Yes. It came about. It came about real organic. It was back in 2018, July,
right. Mm-hmm.
and my wife was like, "Brother Percy talking about doing a sports radio show," and that was, to me, saying that to me is like saying, "Charlotte Hornets looking for a ball boy tonight. Can you do it? What time is the game? Let's do it tonight. Where do I sign up?" And she was like, "Well, they trying to come up with a name. It might be the crossover, something like that." And I was like, "Okay." So she told me that, and the first thing I knew to do was volunteer and start doing soundboard operator for Bible study and for morning service, so I could hear when it started, because didn't nobody know nothing that I knew. And I had just joined the church in 2017. So when I started seeing the thing about the soundboard technician, I had just did the play for Easter with Sister Linda, and I played John. And Sister Linda, I knew she was with radio, so I always, again, was trying to stay close to her. And when Brother P came in and said to me, he said, "Yeah, we're going to do it next Tuesday. We're going to do a walkthrough meeting. The other guys have already met. I just want to bring you in to help on the soundboard." So the whole time, bro, Mel, in my head, I'm like, dude, I gotta hold my tongue, because if I get in here, I'm gonna get excited and I'm gonna start talking and I'm gonna out talk everybody. So I said, I gotta be quiet. So before I got on, I just knew, get on the soundboard, learn the tech side, so that way when you do have that opportunity, you can get on and start speaking with them. And the first night when I went in there, it was TP, Rooftop, and Big T. And the funniest thing about it was when we went into the room, everybody just said, "Hey, we're just going to talk, record it, and just go off the cuff." And it was so spiritual because everybody was coming back and forth with each other, but nobody was trying to overtalk anybody. And I didn't even overtalk anybody. I just came in and was like, "What? No, she didn't." And that's when I picked up on TP being so A&T. So the whole time I'm like, okay. And I'm still trying to think of the funny in all of this, because it's sports. So that's how it came all to be with me being in the radio ministry and then getting on with Brother P and he being the executive producer and introducing me to TP, Big T, and Rooftop. And then Aggie P came on board. And I felt the same way about Aggie P that I felt about Big Birdman. I was like, "Oh God, now I got to wait for him to talk now too." And he liked to talk soft spoken. So now I got to get him to talk up on the mic.
Hey, he saw you as a threat, Aggie P.
I did. I was like, and he bald-headed too. He like a bald-headed version of me on steroids. He all buff.
Hey, what was that thing that kind of took it over the top? I think brought y'all relationship when you talked about the blue giant, or what, you talked about the Giants, and you said you go Aggie P about to turn blue, like the blue
Hulk. Blue in the studio.
Said the blue Hulk.
I ain't gonna let y'all talk about my quarterback like that.
Big T, we don't need that right now.
So we don't need that.
You always got to go back to that. I don't know why.
Because, bro, Mel, everybody, if I'm in the room with you, I'm looking for ways to poke at you and get you to laugh. That's all I'm trying to do. I just want to get you to laugh with me. And if I see you look like you don't smile a lot, like when Aggie P came in the room, I said, "Oh, this dude look like he ain't smiled since you won the championship." So let me say something to him. Let me loosen him up.
Oh boy.
He looked like he smiled since he won the championship.
And he played for A&T, so that might have been a while.
Lord.
You know what? Next question, please.
Say next question. All right, go next.
I'm gonna go next.
Go ahead, TP.
I have a bunch of questions, but I'm gonna ask you this, like this main one that's sticking out. Why are you always hating on A&T?
But hey, let me get my highlighter out and scratch one of my questions off the list because that was on my list.
Why
Let me go ahead and scratch
always
that.
hating on A&T?
The main reason why I hate on A&T is because my mom went to A&T, my dad went to A&T and graduated. He went on to the Air Force Academy. Air Force. My mom graduated for A&T. My grandfather worked at A&T and retired from there. My son's going there. My wife went there, graduated from there. So I thought that would be very ironic for me to just be like a gun ho, down with the Aggies. And because you're right, a hater because she was an Aggie. I knew he was an Aggie, and he was a football player, so I knew he was a bold Aggie. Because you're a football player and you're an Aggie, that's like, oh, they're arrogant. They're very high on themselves. But then she's a professor, so I was like, you got two upstanding individuals, so you have to have a very high level of comedy or insight to poke at them and get them to poke back at you and go back and forth. And I've sat and watched us from the day we started Bro Mail to the day, and I get chills by when I remember the things that we've said to each other. But it's all in fun, and it's like Aggie P said. He said, "Oh, I got to hear Radar's mouth." And like to me, that's
I'm serious, man.
Like this dude is getting ready for me.
I'm serious, man.
40,000 people was in that stadium, Brother Bell, and I can just hear Radar say, "They better not lose." Man. I've been T-Ho thinking about Radar.
Well,
I dropped the whole bag of chips. As soon as I saw the score, I was checking it online. I wasn't even watching it, bro, man. I was just checking it online. And when I seen it came back, I said, what? I said, all my chips went in there. I said, Mom, what's going on? She talking about it's G-Ho. I slammed the door. I said, never mind.
It's G-Ho. He said it's G-Ho.
It's G-Ho. I had to close the door on my mom in her house.
Oh, man.
But I just thought that would be so funny to be a devout Aggie
hater.
Boycott the Aggies, and all of my family was going to A&T.
Hater.
So that's why I chuckled so hard when TP says you didn't get accepted there, and I said their loss, not mine.
Oh man. All right, so the next.
Well, I had another question.
Go ahead, TP.
So I know that you love to do entertainment and radio. So what other adventures are you doing with that besides here on our radio station?
Well, to Aggie, Aggie P said something one time that I knew God was talking through him. He said, you got to know your season, and you got to know who to put yourself around so that way you're not being taken advantage of spiritually. And you can't say yes to everything. So being a part of the crossover taught me I can be in radio without being secular and not having to cross lines that I'm not comfortable with. So when I do nursing homes and hospices, it's mostly for people that are sick and shut in. So that way, when I'm coming in there, they're getting a comedian / storyteller / ministry, because I'm telling them about my walk and about how people made me feel like I wasn't a part of the puzzle, a part of the team. And so I always tell them that before we end a session, that you do matter. You do count. It's just that everybody is telling you don't because they're threatened by your greatness. And when you have somebody with me that has my energy coming in telling you that, I wanted that when I was at a certain age. I wanted that because my dad wasn't there. So I had to learn how to get it from people who are coming through on a season, working that harvest and appreciating them and not saying, I want my dad, but let me take this guy like Aggie P or Rooftop or Bro Mel while they're here and get that spiritual, what they call it, encouragement, that support from them. Because again, a lot of times y'all just doing it just by your character. You're the same yesterday, today, and forever. Every time I come on the air with y'all guys. So that's what I love about you guys. And that's why, I put myself in certain arenas because God shows me through affirmation and not being led by money, but being led by those gifts.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And that's
I know AP probably didn't know about that influence, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask you there, as far as being on the show, this show here, how God have opened up doors, how God have blessed you in what you're doing. Because, we're talking sports, but it's more to it than sports, It's more to it than it because, it's the different people that may be listening then. Basically, we're all together, but we having a good time in the Lord, even though we're talking sports.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's and it's a good atmosphere. But that was the other thing I was going to ask you concerning that.
Yeah. Man, that was like one of them 60-minute answers you be talking about. You be saying don't do the 60-minute questions. Well, don't give 60-minute answers then, brother. You've been giving the 60-minute answer. I'm sitting there like, man, that's good. That's good.
Believe it or not, I was trying to imagine all the questions y'all would ask me, even the tough ones. I was like, ooh, bro, man, that's a good one.
So you gonna be ready, huh?
You stumped me on that one.
Well, hey, everybody, catch this at-home edition of The Crossover Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody you know about it because you don't want to miss this. And then on Thursday nights, at 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights, then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the app, the WLJF app, and you can find it on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. When we come back, we'll continue more of this special edition of At Home with the Crossover, the Radar interview.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
Welcome back to this special edition of At Home with the Crossover. Radar, why are you laughing, man? Why,
I was just thinking about how when you're in antagonize somebody about their school,
and
you can get them to come back at you, back and forth, like you really hit a nerve with them. And I was just remembering how like Aggie P came on the air one time. He said Aggie pride is still nationwide, and we're winning right now. So radar.
Radar.
Like, wait a minute. Yeah, like I'm the only one who said something bad about his team.
Hey,
so
you set yourself up.
Single me out. Like I'm okay with them winning. I just like to poke fun at them so that way when they do win, I want to see all that bigger come out. Like, now we winning. What's up, Radar?
You set yourself up, bro.
That's TP, bro, man. Boy, don't get her started because when I saw that they were 0-3, I said, "Oh, this is perfect." Now, when they start winning, they gonna get real bold. They gonna be talking a lot of junk. They gonna get in the bowl game. They gonna get real high and mighty. And that's again, I said, okay, let's see you when y'all losing now. Let's see what happens when they lose. So again, it's just something. Again, I'll take the losses. I just want to see. I just like to be in between that because I'm not the player. I'm not the coach, but if I can be a part of that banter with fans and it be fun and light, I think that's the funnest thing you could do. Yeah, that's why I was okay with the Packers losing.
He was talking so much junk, and then what happened was around the time when Central was going at it, so he had to eat words.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I didn't know how she was going to use that with the coach being a former A&T Aggie coach. So I was like, she's going to throw that back at me. What you going to say, Radar? Radar?
Well, hey, listen, y'all want to catch all of this fun, all of this joy, each and every week, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. on YouTube. The Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel is the place. 7 p.m. is the time, Tuesday nights. And then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app. It's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. All right, let's jump back into the Radar interview. The Radar interview.
Did you have a question, Big T?
I did mine earlier. Has everybody asked a question? Because if so, I'll throw my next one out.
I don't think Bird, have you asked?
I asked one after Big T the last go around.
Okay, all right. So everybody's already asked a question. All right, well, I'll throw another one out here. Let me look here. Okay, so I got a list here. So, but you know what? TP really did. I got it highlighted. The question I had written down was, "Why do you hate on A&T so much?" So as soon as she said that, I just took my highlighter and said, "Get that one off."
Yeah.
All right, so okay, you're very comical in your demeanor, your delivery on the show and everything. At any point in your life, did you ever consider, pursuing comedy as a possible career? I don't know, like stand up. I've got an uncle that's been trying to make it in stand up for years, and he's actually done some stuff over at the Comedy Zone. Is it the Comedy Zone over there off of Holden Road, I think?
It is the Comedy Zone.
Yeah. He's actually done some stuff there and other places. And so it got me to thinking, I wonder if Radar's ever tried anything like that, because, it's definitely something that seems to be in your DNA,
Yeah. Yeah. And like you, I'm glad you asked that, Big T, because what I learned was, when I was coming up and I was a young man, I was watching different men move in different environments.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn how to piece my ideal man to myself, but I knew I wanted him to be able to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to be able to be, a one-trick pony. So I wanted to learn how to tell stories, be animated, and be witty too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you're in entertainment, you get pigeonholed. Yeah. And I loved it when Dr. Watkins came on and he said, "Radar, you're my favorite non-act," because he could tell I'm not acting, but he could tell I'm a character in itself.
Yeah.
And And I like the fact that I can do it wherever I'm at the nursing home, at the hospice, at the church, with you guys. And I don't feel like I have to be the funny guy in the room, but I can be a funny guy in any room.
Yeah.
So I like comedy, but the competitive side of it all, when you see a guy come in and he's funny and he's loose and he doesn't care about what you're gonna think if he's funny or not, that's intimidating to some people. So again, God has aligned me with certain people and certain projects to where I can be in a room with people and be challenged, but not at the same time be a threat to people that look at me and try to use me for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I love comedy. So I watch other comedians, but I love taking their stuff that they do secularly and apply it worldly. Because like when we was talking junk last week, and I said, "You smell that?" And I was always wanting to use that because that's like Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yeah.
And I was spraying the Lysol, and and the Holy Spirit just gave it to me. As I said, how can you be a real jerk to them and then keep it clean? So I said, let me spray the Lysol. Like I got Aggie germs. And I said, you smell that? You smell that? I smell it. I smell it. He said, no, all I smell is your bull. And then y'all said to my, ain't no Aggies even around you, Radar. Nobody care, Radar. And it's like it fed y'all in terms of, I'm gonna get him straight. And like, especially Aggie P, talking about, hey, Radar, I'm tired of you coming at my Aggies. And I could tell he mean it. He's like, you know what? I'm getting Radar straight. I'm tired of dealing with Radar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
just like tonight when he came on the air, and we were laughing, and I was poking fun about A&T. And he said, Radar, you ain't gonna do that with me. You ain't gonna set me up.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
So it sounded not tonight.
I know what you're up to. Well, let me see both hands.
So you know what? It sounds to me like you're saying you've never necessarily wanted to be on a stage doing stand-up, but you've pulled from stand-up to kind of mold and shape, you know, your approach to comedy and how you present things on the show, and I guess in other areas that you use that gift.
Yes, sir. Yes, because with me not having a dad and thinking like I can't be a man without having a dad, I said, wait a minute, hold on. You got God give you the best of both worlds because you have him as your main source, but he's giving you different people at different times of your life for different reasons when you're going through different types of maturation processes as a young man. And he was giving me like different pastors throughout different times. And I was still in the city of High Point. But again, no matter how small of a situation you're in, God can still water and grow you and mature you if you just wait and take that time to let him, you know, marinate you. And when I did meet my dad, it was kind of like and that's when I met my brother. It was a blessing in disguise because it was kind of like King Solomon. King ain't rocking with you, but the son of the king that was up from a new relationship took me in, and he showed me how I was a part of everything, because I could have resented him in terms of being in that dynamic, but God showed me how to use that as a stepping stone into who he was growing me to be. And now I'm sitting back in awe because I was like, if I would have turned out to be like him, I wouldn't be the guy I am today. And the way people see me, I can see how people see me, and I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it because I see that it's a lane that God put me in, not that I put myself in. You know.
Okay. Another 60 minutes answer.
Oh, and real quick before we get to a close, when we first started out, Big T took me under his wing, y'all. He wanted to usher me along.
Lord.
But he didn't want me to come for his spot, right? Aggie. So when he would tell me, he said, look, don't talk too much, but just talk enough. Don't try to out talk everybody because you don't know as much as we know. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I know I'm the new guy on the block, but can I say hello? Just say, he said, don't say hello. He said, say, hey. Just say, hey. I said, I can't say hello or what's up. No, just say, hey. Because then we got to get the rooftop. and then we got to get to TP, and then we got to get back to me. And I was like, okay, I mean, well, what did you play? What did you? That's neither here or there. I'm here, TP here, rooftop. You here, you do the sound. I said, I'll wait my turn. So every time somebody would come in the room, I was like, oh Lord, I gotta wait for this thing now. I gotta talk around him.
So you're getting pushed further back, huh?
I get pushed further back. So y'all can thank Big T for the way I was thinking. Because every time somebody walk in the room, I was like, oh Lord, now I got to work around this dude.
Hey,
Big T gonna tell me all I can say is
everything he said is absolutely not true.
He did. Don't take too much. Just say a little bit. You can talk, but don't get carried away.
Say don't get carried away.
Don't get carried away. But no, real talk, Big T.
Remember,
He never told me you're talking too much, Radar. That's
hey, remember you're the soundboard guy, man.
Yeah, he'll always coach me on that. You're the soundboard guy. Don't get nothing wrong. If you don't get anything right, get that right. Because some nights I would forget to record. Because I would get so hyped up off of talking.
Now, I will say that is true. I did say, hey, just remember, don't get so caught up in the show and being a part of the show that you forget you got to do sound stuff too.
Yeah,
you know, don't miss that. Because I think that was because there was some timing that was off sometime. Yeah. And I was like, hey man, I need you to flip them cards. Let me know where. Because remember, we used to rely on you to be the countdown guy. And I was like, hey man, well, I'm getting too close to these hard outs, man.
I was Birdman before Birdman. I was giving them hard braids.
Yeah.
I was like, BT, you didn't see the card? He said, no, Radar, you didn't put it up. You were talking. You were in the mic. I was like, Now I'm talking. I missed the time because I'm talking. Never mind.
We're in the middle. We're in the middle of something deep, and all of a sudden, 30 seconds come up. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on, bro? My bad, Big T.
Brother P looked at the whole studio and said, hey, we didn't get none of that segment. Radar.
Yeah.
Now Brother P throwing me under the boat too.
Oh man!
I record at the same time.
I remember those days. I remember those days.
Or go ahead, TP.
No, I was gonna say I think that kind of brings my question. I don't know if it's the last question, but I was gonna ask you that considering with Birdman, because I do remember the first time you came in the studio, you didn't really talk too much, but I really think you had more responsibility than Birdman. And my point was, I do want to say that although you're comical, you were very humble when you first started because but wait,
when he first started,
quiet too.
When he first started,
no, I think wait a minute, he was quieter, but let me say this though, because we had to take the segments. But I'm gonna say this: he had to answer the phone, turn those cards, press record.
Yep.
And especially if somebody called, because the live talking show, and then he had to listen to Sister Linda, listen to Brother Percy. So I had to give it to him. He had a lot going on.
Hey, you'd see him leaning over to the side on the phone, hey, trying to whisper and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, we'll get you up. We'll get you up in a minute.
So I said all that because remember, he didn't have a mic to talk.
No,
he didn't have a mic to talk for a while. I mean, to really talk. And I just wanted to ask because I wanted Birdman to kind of hear that, because I know that you did have to kind of train Birdman a bit when he came in, like Birdman said earlier. So I wanted just to, just kind of inspire people to know that you came in with humble beginnings. Like you said, you was eager, like, just get me in the room.
Yeah.
And well, we had a format, but you were like, just get me in the room. So I'm hoping that influence people like Birdman and them to see if you can just get in there, humble yourself, your time will come.
And I'll say this on our way out. Believe it or not, that time that I waited and I had to do all that other stuff, when I wasn't able to talk, God was allowing me to see what y'all were doing and saying, so that way when I was able to start talking, I just fell in line.
Yeah,
it was like he was showing me the river. He was showing me how the flow of how everything was going to go, who was in charge, how to do it when Sister Linda was in there, how to do it when Brother P was in there.
Yeah.
And not take it offense to it. And
Yeah.
again, especially with Big T, man. Big T showed me so much just by being so structured. And I could mimic him because he was the same yesterday. And today I was like, oh, okay, now I get it, God. I see why you let me see it. Because then I could poke fun at him and he couldn't see it coming. He was like, especially when I told him he had tacky hats. I say,
yeah. Well, hey, everybody, be sure to catch this at-home edition of The Crossover. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. YouTube, Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel is the place to go. And then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can catch it online at WLJFradio.com. When we come back, we will wrap up this special edition of At Home with The Crossover, the Radar interview.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, the special edition of At Home with the Crossover, the Radar interview. And hey, Tunnel Crew, who else has a question for Radar? This is our short segment to close us out, but we want to get as many questions in as we can before we go off the air. So go ahead and ask Radar a question, anybody. Go ahead, Aggie P.
Very simple. The name Radar.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm missing something. Big T, I got that. Brother Mel, I got that. TP, I got it. Birdman, Eagles, Radar. You need to explain, how did that come about?
Okay. I'm glad you asked, because that's the coolest question I could be asked. My full name is Harvey Bernard Bush.
Okay.
Harvey Bernard Bush Jr. Okay. So, and I always loved MASH, and that guy named Radar was always responsible for making sure everybody had what they needed. He knew everything that was going on. He knew everybody he needed to know, and he was the guy you needed to have it right there by the colonel all the time. So I was like, that's who I want to be. I want to be that guy. Yeah. Okay. And so it was like, when I chose the name Radar, I was like, oh man, it's kind of like off of Harvey. A-R, Harv, Radar. And Radars keep up with everything that's going on, you know. So that's the way I chose the name, because I like to be in the know of everything that's relevant, not just things that are trending and hip for the moment. I like to be on that level where people are like, man, wait a minute, I never thought to look at it like that. You know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good answer. Who else got a question for Radar on the Radar interview? The Radar. I know. Okay, there
Radar,
you go.
I got a question.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't know this, but me and him, we tag team tandem during the PowerPoints. For those of you who see it, I encourage you to see it. But you do a good job with the designing and stuff. Like, how did that come about? And if so, we got to talk business outside. You know.
Well,
I believe God puts people in positions for people
absolutely.
in places for certain reasons. So
I love that Bible
my
verse.
business ventures, and I want to connect with you on that. But how do you come about doing that?
I love art. That was my first love when I was coming up as a kid. I wasn't good at sports as I allude to, but I could draw it. I could draw it, and I could make things that when I saw athletes go crazy about designs on T-shirts and the way colors would pop on a uniform, I said, "Oh, that's my lane." Not only as a trainer or as a supply and logistics person, but I wanted to be that person that would help design the jerseys, design the shoes. I love shoes, as you guys know. I like to do, change the colors after I buy a pair of shoes. I'll paint on them because I want to have something that's one of a kind. Because me myself, I'm one of a kind. I again, being associated with this show like this, I feel like I'm a part of a living color type machine or organization per se. Like a bunch of young cats on the come up doing their different things, different businesses. Everybody's a business owner and or they're in charge of what they're doing on a daily basis. So if I'm in a room with a guy that owns his own business, another guy that's doing meetings, and another guy that used to be in radio, I'm in a really good room. I'm not the smartest man in the room, and I'm still not the funniest person in the room, but I still have a place in the room. So, yeah.
Well, I can scratch another question off because I had shoe designs. What do you enjoy about redoing shoes? I think you kind of answered that, so I'll go ahead and mark that off.
So, Radar, doing the shoe designs, is that your way to relax, so to speak, or what do you do to relax?
Believe it or not, I like just listening to people talk and have natural conversations and finding the funny in it, but still keep it professional, but still be able to chuckle here and there. So I really like listening to comedians, different types of comedians, because like when I see something in Eddie Murphy, then I'll see something in Dave Chappelle. I look at how I can mesh the two and then put it on certain people and put myself in a situation where I'm the joke, but I'm seeing how it affects you in terms of laughing, how it connects us. Because like I was saying before, when we first started out, I didn't see Bro Mel smile too often. But then when I learned how to start saying certain things, even though I would cut it too, Aggie P, I would notice Bro Mel would chuckle real hard. So I was like, oh, okay. So if I come at Aggie P a little bit more, then Bro Mel would laugh. then Bro Mel said something about Baker Mayfield, and you said, Bro Mel taking up for Baker. And it was funny because I never heard anybody come after Bro Mel. So it's almost like you sell what I did and you put your spin on it. And you said, sound like you taking up for Baker, Bro Mel. He's like, nah, I ain't taking up for him. And it was funny because it wasn't like he was backpedaling, but it was I was seeing how we were just going back and forth with each other, and it felt like a barbershop or a salon, and it doesn't just sound like a regular type of sports show. And that's what I wanted to bring to the table, since I don't bring the athletic ability and experience. I just bring my experiences as a third string, fourth string player on the team just to get out of school early, rec ball, So I knew the game and respected the game. And that's why I love the fact that even though Birdman doesn't have a connection with the game, he's learning a respect for the game at HBCUs on the level of a transfer, on the level of a player just trying to earn his stripes. And the more you're around people that have come from that walk of life, I think that's the best thing you can be around as a person who's of the man of the cloth, is being around different people from different experiences.
All right, who else has a question for Radar on the Radar interview? I've been contractually obligated to say that multiple times.
Was that Sister Linda that did that for me?
No, that was your peeps. Your entourage.
And just so y'all know, the reason why I laugh so hard is because I like to have imaginary conversations with myself when I'm keeping myself in line, straightening myself out, or even when I'm fussing out my imaginary staff. I'm like, where's my Sprite? You know what? Somebody getting fired.
Somebody's getting
I
fired.
have to fire somebody before every show. What are we doing? You know, this is ridiculous. That just again, like in that night that Stats had his hiccup, man, I went and told everybody at work the next day. And everybody thought I was, again, I moved like a comedian. But it was so funny because every time I get experience from what we do, I go and tell everybody at the nursing homes, at the hospices, and then at work. And people are like, oh man, he's gonna have another story today. And that's why I like it. Because again, it's a testimony.
Yeah.
It's not me being so funny. It's me saying, I learned this from Birdman. I learned this from Aggie P. Big T taught me a lesson today. TP drove me to the show again today, and I don't have a car. How amazing is this? And she's going through the health conditions she was going through. And I didn't know it until it was like 6 months into it, Big T. And she started talking about it on the show. I said, you had a what? And you were driving with me where? But God was using me as what do you call it? Chaperone. You know, and I was just like, hey, like you were asking before, I just learned how to see God in a lot of things now. And it's amazing how he'll show you the people that he needs you to be around so that way he can protect you the way he needs to protect you. And I can see that hedge more and more every day.
So what have God shown you through your time being on this show?
Good question.
Ow,
good question.
How I have to really watch what I say. How much I have to really watch what I say. And believe it or not, me being on this show, I'm not a cursor, but I can let it rip if I'm in the right room. But in this environment, I know it's not an option. And when I'm out and I'm professional, it's not an option. I'm a dad. I'm a father. It's not an option to lose control. Like it says in the word, be on guard at all times. Guard your gates. Guard your peace. And when you guard your peace, people can't, send you off the deep end. And that's why I learned how to laugh at myself at a young age and not take myself so serious. So now when I'm in a room with somebody, I'm not guarded. I'm guarded by him, that armor. So now when somebody says something, I'm like, oh, what did you mean by that? And I can take it any way I need to so that way I can protect my peace and I don't get upset. Like a couple times before a show, I'll get upset, but I know how to turn it into comedy and laugh about it and fuss about it in a funny way. Like when Big Birdman trying to do the PowerPoints. I'm like, I don't try to do beats. Do I come in your studio and try to do beats, sir? What are we doing? Why are you trying to do my PowerPoint? Can I do my PowerPoints? And usually I would be mad, but no, I learned to laugh at it. And that's the thing God has shown me. And that's why I keep the shades on. To Big T's point, I said, if you saw what I saw, you would have shades on too. It helps me focus when I'm having the shades on, Because when people see your eyes, they always thinking, what is he doing? What is he laughing about? But when they see these teeth, it disarms them. They like, look at him. He grinning. He laughing about something. I don't know what he about to say, but he about to say something. And they know it. I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm not going to embarrass you, but I'm going to make you laugh. And that's the thing I like about people. They don't know what I'm going to say, but they know I'm not going to do those three things. And that makes me more of a threat when you can't predict what's coming out of my mouth. So that's why I love that scripture where it says, your tongue is a double-edged sword. And he showed me, Radar, people are repeating what you're saying. People are paying attention to what you're saying. So you can't go out here and just say anything.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. It's been a great show. And we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have doing the Radar interview. And that's the last time I said it all the times I was supposed to say it. I've said it. Last time, you're not going to hear it anymore. My contract is up. All right, y'all. Hey, for Birdman.
Whosoever believe in him.
For Aggie P.
No weapon.
For the Queen.
Blessings.
For Bromel.
Praise the Lord, everybody.
And finally, for Radar.
Narrow is the way.
I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying, no matter where y'all, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be ya. Peace.
Peace.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. Remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.